Hello, welcome to vlog number 6 of Operation 700. This entry is going to cover week 6 of the program, which is the end of the first block of training, which is going to end in the first peak. First part of the video, we're going to discuss the program. We're going to kind of go over what we did last time, as in what the program was meant to look like, what it actually looked like. We'll touch on some of the various intricacies of why that was the case. Although we'll not labour too many points. If you want to know more intricate why we made certain decisions earlier on in the program, you'll have to look historically through the other logs from one forward. If you've not seen this video series before, this is me journaling my journey towards a 320 kilo deadlift. Reason being, it's been my worst lift, and I've been stuck at about 290 for about 4 years. So it's me prioritizing deadlift and putting it to right, so I can go on past an 800 kilo powerlifting total and progress in the sport. Okay, so this is what the original block of training was meant to entail. It was meant to be a 6-week training block, 3 sessions a week. Here we have the intensity of the session. You've got the actual load, what that turns out to. You've got sets, you've got reps. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got rid of the middle session because 3 days a week I decided it wasn't tenable for me for deadlift. And you'll be aware of what the goal was, or what the idea of the training was beforehand. Or what the goal of the block was, why the block was put together in the manner it was. If you'd watched the previous videos, you'll be aware of what the thinking was and how it's turned out. So we're covering week 6. So week 6 was meant to be 4 sets of 3 of 225 kilos. Session 1, it was meant to be 3x3 of 60% for the extra volume. Week 2 and week 3 was meant to be a triple at 287 kilos. Okay, so what actually happened? So last week, you'll know I took a bit of a deload because I travelled down to London for a long weekend. My girlfriend's travelled down to London for a job, so she's living there. She's got a year contract, so something that I'm going to be up and down, travelling a fair bit from London for the next while. As such, I had to change my training, reduce the volume, use it as a down week, because this on week 4, the 3x3 at 260 kind of kicked my ass a bit. So I use this more of a down week, so reduced the volume on 275. So it was originally meant to be 272 for 2 sets of 3. I just singled 275 without a belt. Okay, so we're covering week 6. So, as we mentioned, this is what week 6 was meant to look like here. This is what it actually looked like. Session 1, we did 2 sets. I did 2 sets of 3 of 225. I did 275 for set of 4, which was a 15 kilo PB. Sweet. And then finally put that 300 kilo drag in the bed. Did it straight afterwards, and there was probably more there, as we'll see in the video. So I like to say I was ecstatic, because I feel like it probably should have been. However, I was probably more relieved, to be honest. 300 has been something that's been, I've been on the cusp of for a long time. I did 290 kilos in 2012, so I've been around that ballpark for the guts of 4 years. So it's really good just to get it done, put it away. Now we can move onwards to the ultimate aim of the program, which is 320 kilos. Okay, so this, on the bottom, this is the volume and intensity chart, what it was meant to look like. You see it's probably a bit more of a linear classic sort of program. The high volume, low intensity rising over the 6 weeks, and volume taking a dip, small rise and then a dip. What it actually looked like was volume load stayed higher for the first 3 weeks of the program. It raised for the first 3 weeks, probably took a bit of a dip on week 3. Intensity rose fairly gradually for up to week 4, and then week 5 to 6 took a real sharp increase, and volume took a nosedive over those weeks. So this is what the actual block looked like. So this is the difference you'll get between planning a block. So here's my plan, here's my thoughts over the next 6 weeks. This is how the volume is going to look, these are the numbers going to look, these are the sets of the reps, this is the frequency, and then this is what happens when you implement the program. Quite often this will happen. You'll set out a plan of training, and especially the longer the plan, typically I would tend to work on like a 3-week cycle basis. So any programs I write tend to be about 3 to 4 weeks. I don't tend to write longer than that, unless it's like a comp build up, in which case I'll write from like 5 to 10 weeks depending, because we got certain landmarks within programming for a powerlifting meet that say that 3 weeks out we might do a max test. So that means that the training beforehand is more of a 3 to 4 week training block followed by some kind of max, and then like a couple of weeks training or more of a deload into the comp. So within that time frame, there's like mini blocks, but typically I'll work with the lifter. I will have for the lifter an annual plan or a general plan of what they'll do. So for this program, for example, I've got a general plan of landmarks. So I want to build up to 300. Now that I've achieved that, I want to build up to 310. So these kind of mini goals, and then 320 will be the same. This will take a certain amount of time. And envisaging 6 weeks was the original time frame for the 300, which we've achieved, which is great. Probably with a little extra to spare. The 310, I imagine it's probably more of an 8-week plan. I imagine I'm not too far away, but there's a few things I like to work away at. Start to introduce more squat now. I start to introduce more bench press, so it's more of a general powerlifting program. That means deadlift. Deadlift's still the priority. Still want to spend most of my training intensity on, most of my training volume on. All my programming is more based towards that goal still. However, I'm starting to bleed in more squat, as we'll talk about on next week's vlog when I'll go through the next block of training and talk through some of the training that we've been undertaking. It's a kind of a different take from what we took on. So this has been more of a very focused 6-week linear block, starting with more volume, working down to a higher intensity with a limited time frame and a finite goal, a finite task that needs to be achieved within those 6 weeks. Now we're going to take a bit more of an open-ended approach, because the goals are going to start to get more difficult. So there's going to be there's going to need to be some more groundwork put in. There's going to need to be more general training. There's going to be more technique need to be added into the program. So you'll see how that kind of process bleeds out over the coming months. It's going to be months now. It's already been a month and a half. So yeah, that's the programming side of things. So hopefully from watching this you kind of get an idea of what program and planning and program implementation are. Because often I think you'll get one side of the coin when either you watch a lifter on YouTube, for example, you watch someone go through a workout, you watch someone go through their day-to-day training, you see execution, but you don't necessarily see what the original plan was. You don't necessarily see where the changes in implementation come from, what the thought process behind that is. And what I'd like to bring with this kind of vlog series and blog series is bring that to the fore. Bring the planning, bring the implementation, and show you the adjustments that actually happen in training, and how it's not a nice clean cut process. As you'll see from this graph, which is the plan, and this graph was the implementation, they're two different things, although we ended up at the end goal, which is ultimately what we're here for. Alright, let's talk through some videos, some of the lifting. This is session 1. So last week, if you've been watching, I did a bit more of a lower volume, higher intensity squat week, low volume, higher intensity bench week, so the volume was less. This week, intensity dropped right down. I think I was probably operating on squat and bench at an average intensity of around 60%, maybe 65%. Just producing multiple sets and reps, 2 sets of 5, 2 sets of 4, and a few sets of 3 to back that up. Here we've got 160 for, I think, 2 sets of 5 on the back squat. Again, fairly easy. Ali with outstanding camera work there. Here's 185, 2 sets of 4 at the back end. You can see the ball spot is getting better as we go, getting more defined. No legit Trenbola, no legit Insulina was used in the creation of this video. Not quite yet. Here we go with some straight up normal bench press on the lightweight weightlifting bar, which is absolutely fucking horrendous for bench pressing. If you ever used it, please don't. I think this is 140 for a couple of sets of 6. I think it was the last set. Here we got some pause squat. This top set, 200 for a set of 3. This is 70% of squat RM. Could pause for probably a bit longer on those. They felt pretty good. I did 160 for the first set. Felt real light. And then did 180 and finished up on 200. So that was pretty much that session in the can. Straightforward. Squat, bench, squat. No problems. Decent session. Felt pretty tired, I think, from memory. I was training at the CSE, or the University of Edinburgh gym, all of last week, which on one side it was real nice to get in there, catch up with some friends, lift in a different environment. No, the gym is too busy. There's far too many lifters in there, and it's a nightmare to try to get a rack. And it is what it is. They don't have enough powerlifting bars either. Session 2 of week 6. Again on deadlift, didn't really do much. Warmed up. I think I did a triple at 180, and then 2 triples at 225. So I think this is the second triple we're going to watch. These felt like shit from memory. They look fine. Not really any issues. Probably on the lockout here. That's fine. On the lockout, that's probably the better lockout. On the prior lockouts, I was probably hinging back too much. That's what I'm finding out is when the legs straighten too soon, end up having to overuse or overextend the back. And I don't know if that's because the knees are straight, so you can't use these to extend anymore. That means you have to have an over-reliance on your hips. But basically what it means is you end up pulling the bar for longer than you need to. What I'm discovering is if you can get the hip, if you get a good knee bend when the bar's here, and you can lock out the hips at the same time, it really shortens the stroke lull. That's like masturbating a penis. It really makes lockout that like quite a lot shorter, a fair bit makes it a lot easier basically. So I'm trying to overreach for words. Here's some close grip, 130 kilos for a set of 8. I did 3 sets of 8 at 100 before this. Fairly easy, just kind of going through the motions. There's Reese making some funny faces there. Beforehand, have you seen that? I don't think he was admiring my technique. It's fine though. Okay, so that was session 2, week 6. Now we're on workout 3, week 6. So again, some squat, bench, squat, I think was the workout. Here we got 80% for a set of 3, 220, 5. Fairly straightforward, no issues. Some good tunes in the background there. Jack taking a seat in Myron, them glutes. Bench press, 80% for a set of 3, top set. 160 kilos. Form is looking good. That was real quick. I don't know if I jumped that or not. I'll take that back again so we can mirror that form. Making some real gains. So on the bench press, what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to widen out slightly. I'm not trying to go super wide. And normally that pinky would probably be about here. So I'm trying to, on the Texas Power Bar, I don't think their reg width or their maximum regulation width, the rings, I think they're somewhere in between. So on a Vanco Power Bar, you've got your close grip width, you've got this width, which I think it's designed for squat, and then you've got the maximum regulation or the maximum legal grip. So I'm here on the squat, and I'm going to try and move it out a little bit as we go, because I'm probably a bit too close for bench press. I don't want to go out super wide because I feel I'm fairly strong within here, but I want to try shorten the stroke and get some more weight on the bar. And then just really trying to concentrate on controlling the weight down. If you notice here, the elbow is not passing parallel with the shoulder, which is good if you don't want to fuck shoulders. And the press is pretty easy. Just jump straight past that. We got some front squat here. Went up to 160 for 3. Depth not brilliant on front squat. Don't really like the lift, to be honest, but I felt okay. Certainly a lift that will dip in and out of my program over the next period, but not going to be a mainstay by any means. But I will use it every now and again. Okay, so this is a big workout. This was Friday night before getting on the Mega Bus to London, which is 8 hours of unadulterated hell if you fancy it at some stage. Although it costs £15, and you're theoretically you sleep on the way down, but more I find you fear for your life the entire time. So this is 275 for 4. As I said, this is a 15 kilo PB. This first rep looks really quick on the video. Again, this lockout still needs work, and that's one of the reasons why I want to take. You'll notice I kind of it's just not very efficient. It takes too long, and I feel it cost me a lot of reps as I went, because the speed of the first one, I feel like I should be able to rep this for more, especially going on the speed of the first one. I tend to, from experience, I tend to be able to hold my speed or my cadence through deadlift sets fairly well. I don't really think like in the past that on a 220 for 10 set, not that I would ever do anything so stupid anymore, but if I was to do a similar sort of program again, I would like to think that, or from experience, or from memory, or from the depth of hitties, I think, or from a recollection, that on deadlift of a 220 for 10 set, I wouldn't really start slowing down to like 7 or 8. And the speed of that first rep, I think that looks more like a 6 to 7 rep set. But then, as most lifters probably like to think they're better than they actually are, I'm probably just overrating my capabilities. So we got 300, the big one. Pretty clean lift. Bit of twist there, which happens when I get towards maximum. Angles my iron. My iron's so hard. Angles blue steel. He's taking the video with the reverse angle, trying to get a sweet ass glimpse of that booty, which you're going to check out now. So you got my little belt boner here as well. And I got a real boner under here too. Yeah, pretty. One of the more happy things, one of the more reasons I'm happier with this lift, guys. One of the reasons why I'm more happy with this lift is on this bar here. It's a Vanco Power Bar. I actually used to think these are real good bars, but actually I haven't used the original Texas bar, which I have at work. It's actually a much nicer bar. It's hard to describe, but when you pull a Texas Power Bar, it's got a nice feel to it. It breaks from the floor well. I just feel like it deforms nicely. It's just got although it's a stiff bar, it feels like it's got some whip. It feels nice to lift, whereas that didn't feel so nice. Better than a Leico weightlifting bar for powerlifting though. And here we have the reverse angle. Check out that sweet ass. So hips reasonably high. Face obviously enjoying the movement. Got some sweet ass Vanco 50s, which I'd love to have in the bar, but again, Ali doesn't like to do things like that. He likes to have all the shit ass change on the bar, rather than just having some 50s and 45s and having some space to actually put some more weight on it. Don't know if he's trying to increase the whip or what's the crack. Here we got some of this external rotation on the right hand side, because I haven't got good external active, or I don't have very good external strength. I'm going to go with mead on those. That means I can't lift anymore, or maybe it doesn't matter, whatever. Get to the knee, a little bit of bend, which is good. This isn't an ideal situation. I probably want this a bit more erect. I probably want more erections in my back. It's probably a little bit flex, but on a 7 kilo PB 1 rep, I'll take it. And that's probably why the lockout was a bit harder than it should have been. There we go, 300 in the bag, all good. Pretty happy with that. And we finished off some no-touch bench press. No-touch bench press, also known to the internet now as Spotto press. First introduced to me by a lifter from a young fella from Macará, lifting in the CSE with the name of Mark Thompson. Basically, the no-touch bench press or the Spotto press or the Thompson press are not bench pressing with correct form. Just basically teaches you to control the bar at the bottom. One of the biggest problems that a lot of people have on bench press is they let the barbell sink, which is an issue. You should really, rather than letting the barbell touch your chest or touch your body and sink down, you should just actually raise your arch so you're constantly in control of the barbell. One, that will mean you'll get a quicker press command in legit federations. If you're in a joke backyard fed, you'll get the press command before you even touch your chest. But yes, basically on the IPF or other reputable sources, they look for the bar to come to a complete stop before you get the press command. So if you bomb down and the bar is moving around, you won't get the press command. And other better judged non-tested federations, you'll get misses for sinking. You'll get a longer pause for the bar not coming to complete rest. There's a whole bunch of problems at the bottom, especially with heavier lifts. That can be avoided just by learning how to control the bar better. And the no-touch bench press, or the spotto press as it's now known, is a great way of learning that. 170 for 4, pretty easy. Chest feeling pretty fatigued after. It didn't feel like the best lift for the shoulder, but got it done. And that's the training, that's that week in the bag. So, all in all, pretty good. Achieved the first landmark goal. So now onwards and upwards to 310. The next vlog you'll see will be for week 7's training, which will be the start of the new block. It's a 4-week block. I've written it out. We'll go over it. I'll probably deliver that next couple of days on Friday when all the training's done. Maybe on a Monday. So maybe on later, 4 or 5 days down the track. Hopefully you're enjoying these videos. If you are enjoying them, please give them a like. Hit the subscribe button. Check me out at castironstrength.com. If you like hearing me talk, I have a podcast. We're now up to 81 episodes. We are on iTunes, Online Strength Coach, the podcast, www.onlinestrengthcoach.com/podcast if you want to get it there. Or alternatively, you can find us on SoundCloud at Empire Fit. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions or comments, please leave them below. Shoot me an email, speedpowerperformance@gmail.com. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you next week for vlog number 7. Goodbye.